Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the WODcast podcast. I am your host, Eddie Ifft. Welcome to the show. This week, we have a very, very unique show. It is not like any other show I've done. And when I say that, it's because this wasn't so much fitness oriented. It wasn't so much health, nutrition, anything like that. I had the opportunity to get a hold of get a really awesome guest on the show. And so I took the opportunity. Jason Ellis, who some of you might know from the Jason Ellis Show on Sirius XM. You might know him if you're a skateboarder and you're really into skateboarding. He is one of the greatest skateboarders of all time. You might know him from, does a podcast with Tony Hawk. You might know him from his MMA fights. He's just a really interesting guy. And when I got the opportunity to get him, I was like, I had to nail it. I was like, let's do it. So we talk about a lot of different things. Look, no MMA fighter is not a fit guy, so we do talk fitness. We talk stuff like that. But I was just interested in him as a human being, and I hope you find it interesting, enjoy it, funny. He's doing stand-up comedy now, which is my profession. So we run the gamut on this one. There's a whole bunch of different topics. And I think this is an interesting one. I hope you really like it. And I hope you like the show so much that you support it and become one of our Patreon members. That's what I like more than anything is when you help the show and you keep it rolling. And every week, not only do you get these shows for $5, that's it, $5 a year, you get to listen to this show, or $5 a month. You get pretty much 4 to 5 episodes every month. And you also get put in a drawing. What happens with the drawing? You might win a Maya Pucks or a leopard paw. What are those things? Well, we talk constantly about injury on this show. As you get older, you like 20-year-olds that are like listening to the show and like, what do I need that for? Because I get hurt and 2 days later, I'm ready to go. Good luck. Call me when you're 40. Shit starts to fall apart. And if you want to continue doing stuff like Jason Ellis does, he's 50 years old. He's trying to land a 540 on a vert ramp. He's fighting MMA fights. Tony Hawk is still skating. Kelly Slater's still surfing. You want to be 50 years old? The one thing you've got to learn is how to take care of yourself because you are going to get injured. It's inevitable. And so what you're going to want is an electronic muscle stimulator. And you might think that's hokey and crazy, but go to any physical therapist, any chiropractor, they all use these things. And why pay all that money to go to your physical therapist when you can have one at home? So the one I found to be the best is the Maya Pucks. It is small. It's compact. You take it with you. You could throw it in your bag when you get on a plane. It literally fits in a little bag the size, smaller than your toiletry bag, way smaller. And you run it from a thing that looks the size of your phone. And you put these pads on your muscles, and they either override the pain like a TENS machine, or they send an electronic muscle stimulation into it that makes your muscles contract, which makes new blood come there, which flushes out old blood. The new blood brings proteins. Everything goes out into the lymphatic system, and you rehab quicker. Also, you can win, or you win both. You can have a leopard paw. And the leopard paw is a scraper. Some people call it a scraper. Some people call it a schwa gua. Some people call it a Graston. If you've heard any of those terms, you know what this thing is. It's kind of a metal multi-tool that you use to scrape any adhesions out to make sure the blood flow keeps going. You watch any video online about them. They're great. They're amazing. And together, these things are worth about $450. But we're going to give them to you if you donate $5 a month. $5 a month. That's it. And you might not win, but hey, you do win. A lot of people win. We've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of winners. So let's look at who was our winner this week. Congratulate them. I see it right now. Oh, I thought I saw it. Who's my winner? There he is. Brian Zant. Congratulations, Brian. Brian, you are the winner. All you got to do is send us an email. Aaron Jepson, I hope Troy got a hold of you. I told you a few of you guys, they were backed up because of, the shipping problems. But Brian Zant, you are the new one. Send us an email at WODcastpodcast@yahoo.com, and I will make sure Troy over there at Milepox and Leopard Paw gets each of these out to you. So congratulations. Thanks for liking the show. Thanks for supporting the show. Thanks for listening to the show. Couldn't do this shit without you guys. Glad you like me. Glad you like my show. I'm glad you come out to see me more and more. The CrossFitters are coming out of the woodwork, and they're coming out to see the shows, and I appreciate that. This weekend, you can't see me. I'm at a private show in Las Vegas. I got to get on a plane right after this. Next week, I'm in Costa Rica. Anybody in Costa Rica, you're in Tamarindo, contact me. Let's meet up. Let's go for a surf. Then next week, I'm at the Ventura, or the 18th and 19th of March, I'm at the Ventura Harbor Comedy Club. Get to stay local. Thank God. Following week, Las Vegas again. I'll be at the Comedy Cellar. That is the 21st through the 27th. Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas. That's in the Rio Hotel. Let's see. After that, I head to Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Steamboat Springs, 8th and 9th. Then I go to Vail, Colorado on the 13th and 14th. We're looking for something to do 10th, 11th, 12th in Colorado. If you have a venue or you want to go skiing with us or have us come work out, 10th, 11th, 12th, we're off. So 13th, 14th, we are in. That's Joe Prano and I. My opener, Joe, is coming with me. 13th, 14th, we're in Vail. 15th, 16th, we're at the Denver Improv. That's the weekend, Friday, Saturday. That is Easter weekend. So get your tickets because that always sells out. Then we have, let's see here, St. Louis Funny Bone, 21st through 24th of April. And then I believe, oh no, I did not book that week. Then I'm back at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas. And that is May 1st through 8th. Get all your tickets at Ifft.com. May 12th, 13th, 14th, I'll be in Minneapolis at the House of Comedy. May 19th, 22, I'll be in Sunnyvale, California, up at Rooster T. Feathers. Now, some big important dates. Wednesday, May 25th, you can see me at the Crocodile in Seattle. Let's sell this out, people. Help me out. Do whatever you can. Let's sell this out. Send me a message. Say, hey, I got some friends, or I want to advertise this, or I want to bring a group, or my CrossFit gym wants to come. Let's do this thing. I'll help you out. I'll give you discount tickets, whatever. I want to sell at the Crocodile. First time there in Seattle. 26th, I'm at Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco. Giant venue. Need all the support I can get from my San Francisco people. Please come out to see me. And then looks like 27th, 28th, I'm going to be in San Diego. Actually, it's not San Diego. It's not Encinitas. It's right near San Diego. It's like off the beach, way off the beach. The Grand Comedy Club. Just look that up. And all these dates are at my website, which is Ifft.com. That's it. So I hope to see you guys. And I think we should move on with the show. Do I have anything else to report? How you guys doing in the open? Not me. Not me. Not me. Yeah. So I think that's it. Let's just get this party started with Jason Ellis. Really interesting show. Hope you guys like it. So I've noticed the thing about Zoom podcasts. Everybody does it in front of bookshelves.
It's the living room, and not my books.
But I've noticed everyone on every Zoom, and I always want to focus in and see what everybody's reading.
Yeah, they're all my wives, or maybe a friend gave me it, but I didn't read any of them. That's for sure. I think some of them are. There's records, a lot of albums over there.
Oh, do you collect records, or your wife does?
It's my wife. I don't collect shit.
But do you not read at all?
Not really. I mean, I read Twitter and Instagram. I was kind of illiterate. I learned how to read over here when I started doing stuff for Sirius XM.
Are you didn't learn in Australia at all?
I left pretty early, and I have dyslexia, so I didn't
Yeah.
learn even when I was there. I left when I think I turned 16. But yeah, I used to, when I was sponsored by Planet Earth, I used to wear the T-shirt to the skate park because I had to write down Planet Earth as my sponsor to get in for free because I can't spell it.
Wow. I'm trying to think I spend a lot of time in Australia, and I'm trying to think your accent, where you're from. I
So you're
can't.
not going to get it, man. It's been 30 years. It's gone.
You still got it. I'm trying to think where it's from, though.
Not if you ask an Australian. No way.
Really?
Yeah, big time.
So I'm just gonna do a wild guess then. I mean, it's easy to guess Melbourne and Sydney because of the two most populated places, but so yeah, I'm gonna say somewhere around Melbourne.
Yep. Right.
Where? Country town?
Nah. I'm a suburban kid.
Okay.
It was Sandringham. At first, it was St Kilda, which was kind of rougher.
Yeah.
And then
Lots
Sandringham, when my stepbrothers popped up, and then when I got older, I moved back to St Kilda. Really, around there.
Yeah, I've spent some time there. It is different, I guess. It's changed a lot.
Yeah, I would know. I haven't been there for a long time.
You don't go back at all?
No.
I used to be a big fan of all the Aussie like crime drama shit, like Chopper, and
Yeah.
and then one day, like I used to do jokes on stage about Chopper all the time, and then one day I go to the Comics Lounge in Melbourne to do a show, and they're like, "Hey, you know who's doing a show tonight with you?" And I'm like, "Who?" They're like, "Chopper," and I'm like, and I thought it was the comedian that does an impression of him, and I'm
The
like,
real
"Oh
Chopper.
yeah." I go, "Yeah, I know Heath real well." Yeah, and they're like, "No, Chopper," and I'm like, "Oh, like the guy that killed people," and they're like, "Yeah, he does comedy now."
Yep. I bet you he's hilarious.
Well, he's dead now, but
Yeah.
but
But even that comedy, that might have been harsh.
it was a bit harsh. It was, and now I know you're doing stand up, so
Yep. Trying.
I'm glad you said that because I think everybody thinks it's so easy, and I think look, I've been doing it almost 26 years or something. I don't know, and I've enjoyed it forever, but I never thought it was like easy. I always thought it was so
I don't know. I
challenging.
feel like some people think it's hard to get on stage, and I don't think it's that hard to do that. But if you get past that and actually try to do comedy, it's the same as everything, man. Like if you want to be good at something, it's really hard. You know, like there's levels to stuff. Like you can, if you can hold your own and tell a bar of people some funny stories, then you're kind of a funny guy. And then there's an hour and a half of shit where you can control the crowd and make them laugh when they, calm them down for the next thing. Like there's just some comedians are on such a crazy level. And I feel like the better I get, the more I can appreciate what they do. Because it's little things like the way they just have confidence and shit or play with the crowd. I'm like, oh my God, like these people can do anything. And that's all I really want out of it. I've already been good at stuff. I've already I wanted to be famous and everybody to love me. I'm way past that, like I don't know how many years I'll be around and I can't do stuff physically like I used to. I can't like be the next, good football player or a pro fighter or anything. I'm too fucking old, but I've got enough brain cells left to like figure out how to do comedy good. I believe I can get good. And that's all. I don't give a fuck if I get paid. I got a job.
Yeah, but you already have the natural ability of like you're an entertainer, you're a funny person, and that's half the battle. Because I've seen I saw John Mayer start doing stand-up comedy.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, when I used to work at the Comedy Cellar in New York all the time, which I believe is the best club in the world, and you'd see everybody come in from Seinfeld to Chappelle every single night. And John Mayer was like a fan of comedy, like a super fan. And he would go in and he started like putting together like 5-minute sets. And he would go up on stage and he was good, really good for a beginner. because he'd already been on stage a million times and was so comfortable with an audience. So people would say to me, they're like, how's John? Everybody wants to hate on him. And I'm like, to be honest, he's good. Everybody always wants to hate on people that come into it from another world because your entry point is at a different point. Like you just said, it's not hard to get on stage because you're famous. People want you on stage.
I meant to physically get on stage and talk in front of people, but also you are, when it comes to the spots that I get and the opportunities that I've been given, 100%.
Yeah.
Because of my bullshit career. Like no person that started comedy a year or two ago is going to come out for Whitney Cummings. That's like, that only happens with your magical bullshit. I know Tony Hawk life, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm glad you appreciate it. No, but it's great. Some people aren't grateful for that.
I don't understand. I don't know this person that you speak of, but I don't understand it.
I'll give you the name, Stormy Daniels.
Okay, so Stormy Daniels, the porn star, is a comedian. I don't know anybody, dude. So
yeah, she did.
Stay with me.
She did stand up for. I think she still does it, and
it was a career. It was
like this started a few years ago. When she was in the, getting all the publicity that she could get, she decided to come out and start doing stand up. And because she could sell out a room better than I could,
yeah,
because she was famous and people want to see.
That wouldn't last that long though, right?
Well, I mean, I think when somebody's super famous and people come out to see them, they'll come once. They're not going to go again. They met them, they saw them. They're not going again. Right. And so you better develop your act. And there are people that do, like I always tell people Steve-O's really funny because if you're a fan of Jackass, I mean, he's got these great stories and it's just so entertaining to go watch him. And like I went sort of even loving Jackass, but a little bit like, hey, stand up. And I watched Steve-O and I was like, I fucking love this. I could listen to him talk for 12 hours about stories about those guys. So, but Stormy Daniels, I mean, like, what am I going to hear her talk about? Like how she had 4 cocks in her ass. Like I would like that for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I kind of got into it with her a bit about it. I just said...
You're saying she wasn't appreciative of the...
No, she said, comics were saying, like, why don't you go somewhere and, like, do meet and greets and sign autographs? Like, why do you have to come steal our stage time? And a lot of people were going, well, you should get better. Then she wouldn't steal your stage time. And there is that argument. And, but it's like comedy, like you said, is kind of like jazz. And in a jazz club, you don't go to see someone famous. You go to see really good jazz. Like you go to see good musicians, so you don't even know who they are. And it's like, you just want to watch somebody who can just jam.
Yeah. Well, that's the room that I want to go to.
Yeah.
That's all I want to go to.
That's awesome. I see, like, I'm excited about that for you because I like that you care about it and want to be that good. Like, that's awesome. I can.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know it's because it's not entirely that courageous. I know that you don't get good at stuff if you don't love it. So I wouldn't bother if I didn't love it. Like I got into car racing and I was like, if I had the money to stay in it, because I loved it so much, I still do, I could be good.
What kind of cars were you racing?
Just short course off-road cars.
Off-road, that looks like the most fun. So kind of like rally racing shit?
But with other cars. So you jump over tabletops and stuff with other cars around you. It's fucking awesome. It's so cool.
Is
like
that
100-foot tabletops.
Is that kind of the shit that Travis Pastrana does?
Yeah, but he does it in bigger cars, faster cars. But yep.
Unbelievable. So one time I was in Australia and I was doing a festival over there and they took me to, it was in Adelaide and there was like some car race around the streets. And so I'm there and I hated it. It was so boring. And then they brought out the trucks and the trucks had jumps on the street. They built these jumps. And
I know the track. I know the race we're talking about. Yeah. I almost got in that one.
The Clipsal.
Yeah, and that place, I would love to do that.
And the trucks were just rolling over and guys would run out and push them back up and they would keep racing. And so I'm like,
who's here? So
I'm like, this is the greatest shit I've ever seen in my whole life. And I'm like, I couldn't stop talking about it. And I have a little bit of a profile in Australia. So, you know, like they'll put me in the paper that I'm at the race. So they're like, you want to do it? And I'm like,
yeah,
no. So sure enough, the next year they're like, so we got you a lap in the truck.
sick.
And I was like, oh, like part of me was like, I would rather jump it myself than be in the passenger seat.
Oh, you're in the passenger seat?
Yeah.
That's way worse, dude. It's way worse.
It was terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying.
Yeah, it's way worse for
Yeah.
everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Passenger seat,
Oh, I'm glad to
bullshit.
hear that because I thought I'm a somewhat fearful person. I was freaking the fuck out.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
everybody knows that.
okay, good. I'm glad to know I'm not like everybody freaks at that.
Nah, if you're the fastest guy in the world, you don't want to be in the passenger seat.
That's how I feel about a motorcycle. I never want to be on the back. Just have to be
Yeah.
in control. Have to be.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right. We all know good sleep's the ultimate game changer. I was on the road last week. I had to fly on a red eye from LA through Phoenix to New York, then drove to Boston. Guess what happened? Lost a night of sleep, got a cold. I don't think anything compromises your immune system like lack of sleep. We all know sleep is where everything happens. It's where you get smarter. It's where your muscles grow. It's where your immune system builds up. It's the most important thing in the world, and we don't do enough of it. Some of us just work too hard. Some of us don't have the right bed. You want the right bed? I know the right bed. I am now at the point my wife said she couldn't believe hearing me say this. But I said, I couldn't sleep last night because my bed wasn't the right temperature. I was on the road and I missed my 8-sleep bed. I have an 8-sleep bed where the temperature basically works on AI. It takes all this data based on my heart rate variability. Told you I'm sick. I got a little message the other day from my bed, from my app on my phone, from my 8-sleep that said, hey, are you feeling well? Because your heart rate variability is off and you might be a little sick. And I was like, yeah, I am. Wow. You guys know that. So they know everything about you. It's great. And they know what temperature you should be sleeping at. They know when to warm you up, when to cool you off. And it's so nice getting into a warm bed at night. And I can't sleep when it's warm, but I go to sleep with it warm. Then it cools down. I sleep cold. You hear a lot of people talk about sleeping cold. Then I wake up warm again. It is the ultimate sleep experience. It is unbelievable. And I don't have to give you all the stats. I just want you to know that the top CrossFitters are all using this. Annie Thor's daughter, Jason Medeiros, I believe, I don't want to say anyone that's not, but I know that he's the fittest man in the world, okay? He's doing it. You should be doing it. Here's what you want to do. I'm not going to give you the stats. I'm just going to tell you that this thing is the greatest thing. And you don't have to buy a new mattress. You can just get the Pod Pro cover, which is the thing that heats up and cools down and works by the app on your phone. I don't have the price on it, but I do know this. You're going to get $150 off, okay? If you use our code at checkout, 8sleep.com/WODcast. That's 8sleep, EIGHTSLEEP.com/WODcast. EIGHTSLEEP.com/WODcast. You're going to get $150 off. That's a lot of money. Go do that. Get the $150 off. And please write to me after you get this because I could nerd out on all my data and I'd love to talk to you guys about it. I'll show you right now. I slept on the couch part of the night last night. I was watching TV and then I woke up and I had to go in and sleep on my 8-sleep because I couldn't sleep on the couch. I was like, this is gross. I need my bed, which is the best thing in the world. It was cold in the house the other night. I set it to 8. I usually am about 6 when I get into bed, but I had my temperature at 8. If you see, I go +6
then -1, then +1, then +5. It takes me through all these ranges of my REM, but there's just so much data. So I got a bad night's sleep last night because I was on the couch. And so it lets me know, like right here, it said I only slept 3 hours and 35 minutes in my bed because I was out on the couch. And that's bad. That's not like, it gives you wake up consistency, time to fall asleep, time to get up, your timeline. And then it shows you your sleep stages, your REM, your light sleep, your deep sleep. And I'm doing good in my deep sleep. I'm starting more and more. My sleep is becoming more efficient. I had 9 tosses and turns. Woo! Sleeping heart rate, 52. It's just awesome to have all this data. And if you nerd out on it like I do, go to 8sleep. 8sleep.com/WODcast. That's EIGHTSLEEP.com/WODcast. Save $150 on the Pod Pro cover. Yeah. So I didn't know you came over here at 16. I thought my first interaction with you was, I used to do a podcast with Jim Jeffries for 3 years. And I remember, Jim was coming up and they're like, oh, there's this other Australian that's like really popular and blah, blah, blah. And I felt like there was like this, maybe not from you, but from Jim, there was this competitiveness of like, who's this other Aussie? And he was always.
Wow, that kind of makes sense because I was on the Opie and Anthony show and he was in the studio and I called in and he said he hated me and was wrecking me after I got off the phone. And I thought, what did I do to that guy?
Yeah.
He hated me.
It's called an ego.
Well, he's doing way better than me. What's he worried about?
Oh, he's worried about everyone else.
Well, I'm not. I am happy for him.
Well, so when you got into MMA, did you love that?
Oh, yeah. I still do.
Really? I mean, do you love to watch it or you would still love to fight?
I love to fight way more than I love watching it. I have to watch all the fights. But I also, I've got one more fight this year.
Oh, you are fighting?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
50.
Fuck, dude. Who are you fighting?
Luis J. Gomez.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about this. I know Luis. He's a buddy of mine.
Hey, it's not that dangerous. You can still get hurt. Man, he's big enough.
I don't know. I like Luis a lot. I think you're going to kick the shit out of him.
Maybe.
But I don't know how much Luis is training.
Training a lot.
Yeah?
And I'm not that good, man. I'm old.
Where are you going to fight him? At Skankfest?
I can't talk about it. Nah, it's definitely not going to be at Alice Mania or Skankfest because it's a proper MMA fight. So I don't want to run my event. He doesn't want to run his event. So all I can say is there's an organization that's like a proper organization that we're more than likely going to fight on that.
Okay.
Just one time.
I was hoping it was Skankfest because I think I'll be there and I would love to.
It's too much.
Yeah, it would be. And but let me ask you this: your background in MMA, what is it? Like, what did you train in?
I guess I'm more of a boxer, but I train kickboxing and I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, so I'm not the greatest jiu-jitsu guy. I know how to grapple. I know how to work off the cage a lot. But I definitely would say, I don't know, man. I feel like I got a good top game. I can keep people down and just sort of ground and pound them out and have a few submissions not a lot of submissions, but I got a couple that are, if I get you on your back, I'll get it. But if you're in the UFC, this is the thing. I don't look at it as I've been one of the better dudes in the world at skateboarding. So that's how I see everything. So to me, can I beat up a normal person? Yeah, of course. But it's like I train with UFC fighters and people that are in Bellator, and I'm a piece of shit compared to them. So that's just, am I good enough to be like a shitty pro? Yeah, but at 50, I'm definitely now like my cardio isn't as good. It just isn't at 50. It's just the way it is. I'm slower. I got a lot of injuries.
Right.
So, but I'm not a bum. Like I know how to do everything correctly. I can take a shot. I got a lot of heart. I'm not easy to beat, even if you're good.
Yeah.
But I just know the levels of stuff, and it's hilarious to say that I'm a pro fighter. It's just stupid.
No, it's so admirable. I just got back from surfing, and I'm amazed at watching Slater this year win Pipeline.
Right. Crazy.
I mean, that wave, I surf every wave on the North Shore except for that wave, because that wave scares the fuck out of me. Because underneath, like, you know, from skateboarding, it's like skateboarding's scary to me, like pipes and stuff, like just insane. Especially when, I don't know, any of those ramps that when I see like the super ramps and that kind of stuff that you guys do, it's just death defying to me. And I feel like that's what pipe is. I snorkeled one time over Pipeline and I couldn't believe how close the reef was. Like I scratched it a few times with my stomach. And
fuck that.
Yeah. And it's just like today they were little pitching like 4-foot waves. And a couple times I got slammed. And I'm like, Pipeline's like 5 times this wave over a reef. And Kelly Slater, 50 years old, smoked 18-year-old kids. And I think there's a new mindset for guys like you. Like, I'm not in your category because I'm not good at anything like that. But for guys that are in their 50s now, it's like, well, wait a minute. You know, Tom Brady, 42, he's still, you know, top of his game. Kelly Slater, 50 years old. The injuries take their toll.
It's not, it's this weird, whatever your parents did shit. There's a new kid in town. Like, people don't quit as easy. People don't stop because they've had 20 surgeries. People have a different will now. And that's all it is, really. Because to me, I still skate. I'm just, you know, it's way more dangerous now. I'm way sorer the next day than I've ever been in my whole fucking life. But I have the will to just, I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care if I'm way sorer than I've ever been before. I'm fucking going. You know what I mean? I'll go stretch. I'll use the ice bath. I'll fucking do whatever I've got to do. I mean, I'll get some sleep, quit drinking, quit whatever the fuck I got to do to keep smashing shit. I'll do it. And I feel like there was a time where if you started saying you feel older or you feel slower than your parents or your wife suggests that it's time to hang it up and get on the couch and mow the lawns or turn into a fat bastard and start drinking beer, like there's like a different way of being an older person now. Like, you don't have to just become this person who's just given up on life. Oh, the old, you know what I mean? That when you call your wife the old lady, you know what I mean? She's breaking my back. Like, it's just not it's not like that anymore. Like, nobody's breaking my fucking back. My lady's not old. And you know what I mean? I go to the gym just like I used to. I probably go more.
Yeah. Well, look, remember how I was just saying to my wife, my kids call all our friends by their first names. They don't call them Mr. or Mrs. Right. It's like Phil and Lauren and Pete and all my friends dress the same as my kids. And right. I think there's this, like, we didn't evolve into this, like, okay, it's time to sit back. Like you're saying, you know, sit back in your chair with your Manhattan and your cigar and watch TV and watch the kids run around. It's like, no, now you're chasing the kids. And that's why I work out all the time. It's because my kids beat the shit out of me. Like this morning, they woke me up with a pillow fight that I swear my daughter tried to break my neck like 3 times. And I was like, I'm going to kill her. Like I snapped at one point and I was like, good thing I work out because she'd break my neck. Like if I was, she hit me so fucking hard that I was like, she's going to go to jail someday. But I think you're right. But I also think it's what you said too about, like, you do an ice bath, no one used to do that shit. Now we know how to rehab. Like
stem cells. There's a lot of stuff you can do.
Yeah. I mean, my buddy that I have on the show all the time has a hypobaric chamber that makes red blood cells.
Shit works. If I could afford it, I'd have that in my house too.
Well, there's only one. He's got like the only one in the world, this thing called the Stratosphere. He's doing like testing down in Arizona if you ever want to go.
Oh, okay.
And
I thought about getting that portable one and like sleeping in it when I was in hotels and shit, but it's like $10,000. So
it's also scary. My buddy, it
works, dude.
You probably have zero fear, but
I'm scared of everything. What are you
Okay.
talking about?
Oh, see, I have this thing called cleithrophobia, which is a fear of being trapped. And so I don't like roller coasters that lock me in. I don't like elevators. And my buddy has a float tank at his CrossFit gym in Australia. James Newberry, who people here know.
Okay.
And he's like, you got to do it. You got to do the float tank. And I was like, I was looking at how the top comes over it and everything. And I go, I don't want to like be locked in. And Rogan tried to get me in his one time. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. And he's like, you got a whole room and you come out. And I'm like, it's dark and I just feel trapped. So my buddy goes, I go, can I get stuck in there? He goes, yeah, I did one time. He goes, I went in. He goes, I pulled it in. Somehow it got off the wheels and I couldn't get it off. And so I did it at the end of the night and the gym had closed. So I had to wait till morning till someone came in. And I go, fuck that. Never. Never, ever.
Yeah.
No, I don't need that.
Fair enough.
So that's always kept me from jiu-jitsu too. I've always been like, the tapping out. My buddy's a black belt down the street. And he's like, you got to come with me. I'm like, no, dude, I'll tap so quickly because I'll be so like feeling like I'm trapped and I've been choked out before.
You get used to it.
I guess. Are there guys though that every once in a while you tap and they're like, nah, fuck you. I'm going to take you a little farther.
No. I mean, if you aggravate somebody and you don't, and you try to hold on, the serious, as hard as you try, people will try to reciprocate. And I feel like if it's people that are amateurs, then yeah, they'll hurt you because same as sparring. If it's an amateur, you don't know what you're doing. As soon as you get hit or as soon as you get in a struggle, you overcompensate, start doing stupid shit. That's when people get hurt.
So
I don't do that. I don't roll with people like that. I roll with people that know my injuries. I know people that don't even go for knee bars because they know I have bad knees.
Hey, let's not talk about that. We don't need Lewis to find this out.
I don't care. Oh, no, I know he knows I have bad knees, and I know he's going to go for them. Go for it. Like, if you want, I'll lie on my back and fucking dangle it out for you. It's not going to make a shit of a difference.
Have you ever seen the video of Lewis in the slap fight with...
Yeah. Look, it's not... I don't know. I know enough to know that to underestimate somebody, especially when you're a 50-year-old skateboarder. It's just, I don't want to do it, but when the fight happens and the training camp starts, I'm not playing at all. It's the most serious thing that I'll ever do. And I already want to retire, but this is such a hilarious fight. And one more time at 50, it just sounds good to somebody like me that likes doing stupid shit. It sounds cool. So I'm doing it for real.
I'm glad you admit that too, because a lot of guys, like, I ran this ultra marathon a few years ago that was like 68 miles, and somebody goes to me, why'd you do it? And I go, so I could brag about it. There's no other.
Yeah, I got to get accolades, man. Come on.
Yeah, like there's no other reason to do it. What kind of is that? A hairless?
Yeah, it's a hairless Bambino.
Oh my God.
He's a midget.
So if you don't mind me asking, because sometimes people don't want to, what are you doing training wise? Like because this show's mostly we talk.
Well, right now I train once a week.
Sounds good.
Because I skate and I'm too sore to do anything else. I skate and do podcasts, and now I'm going on tour this week. So I actually I organized, I didn't even tell my wife, I got grappling once a week on Tuesdays. So I'll start grappling again. And then, like I said, I got to do a backside 540 right now. That's what I'm going to do on a skateboard. It's going to take a while. Might take a month or so.
Did you have a backside 540 before?
To do them with no pads. Now I can't do it.
And you just want it back. You want it back.
Fuck yeah, I want it back. I want it back. Like, I know that's, if I make that, this is just how my brain works. If I make that, then I know that I've still got it, and that you can't, it's just it's proof that I'm not done yet, and that I can do anything, and that I'm about to, I'm really trying to do this stand-up shit. Like, I'm going with Callan this weekend. I'm flying myself out. I don't give a fuck. I'm
Wait.
going to do as many shows as I can so that I figure out how do you do it? How do you get better so that I can keep inventing? I just want to keep, because I can tell my set, I'm like, oh, there's so many more things I could add to it, but I don't know. I don't have enough information. I got to go. I want to see real good guys and girls do it, and just
Then don't go with Callan.
Why not?
People think I'm his brother all the time.
Yeah?
People say we look alike. Yeah. But what I was going to tell, where are you guys going?
To Appleton, Wisconsin.
Oh, it's a fun club.
Is it?
Skyline.
Okay, cool.
The audiences are great. Great.
Okay, cool.
They'll be packed.
I'm just ready to go.
That club scares me though. There used to be the guy that used to own it. I would show up and he's like, "Hey, I heard you like tequila." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I got a bottle of," I forget what it was at the time that I was drinking. And he's like, "I got it behind the bar for you." And I was like, "Why would you do that?" And the next thing you know, by like the second show, I'm like, and I'm like, "Why? You just, you can't."
Well, I don't drink. So.
Yeah. I was like, you can't have it that accessible to me. It's a new owner anyways now. But still a great club. Great club.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, you should be. But you got to deal with Callan all weekend.
How is that bad?
Yeah, he talks more than I do.
Whatever.
I love Brian. No, I do. He's a really good friend, and you'll have a good time. Oh yeah, told you I got a cold. Well, guess what I'm using to help my cold? CBD. I can use it for everything. This stuff is, because it's anti-inflammatory. That's what's so great about CBD. And I go to the best CBD products in the world. I only buy from Cbdmd. They have everything from tinctures to gummies to topicals to sleep aids to capsules, bath products, drink mixes, you name it. Any way you want to get CBD, they've got a way to get it. You can use it on your skincare. My wife loves the lip balm. You can get it for your pets. They've got CBD for dogs, CBD for cats. And it's awesome. So Cbdmd is, when it comes to companies, you guys know me, I do my research. I don't like to be involved with companies that I don't believe in. Well, I thought Cbdmd was probably the best, most quality CBD supplier in the industry. And I just wasn't going to take any chances with this. You go on their website, play on their website. You'll see they've got lab results. They've got clinical evidence. They've got all the benefits you can get from CBD. And if you haven't tried this, it's amazing what it does. The Endocannabinoid System is a complex physiologic network throughout the human body that helps establish and maintain overall health and wellness. So there's CB1 and CB2. CB1 receptors target appetite, immune cells, motor activity, motor coordination, pain perception, short-term memory, thinking. CBT2 receptors target adipose tissue. We're talking about, fat right there, bone, cardiovascular system, central nervous system, eyes, gut, immune system, kidneys, liver, pancreas, reproduction system, respiratory tract, skeletal muscle, skin, tumors. And there's so much that these things can do. There's so many benefits, positive effects. The calming that you get from it is incredible. It does things like it promotes relaxation. It helps promote a sense of calm. It improves your mood. It reduces minor discomfort, improves sleep. And for all you guys working out there, it's so good for support and recovery from strenuous activity. Okay, it's not going to get you high. It's not going to show up on a drug test. And there's so many different ways to consume it. So if you want to use CBD, if you've been thinking about it, do what I did. Go to Cbdmd. These guys are the top. They are the best company out there. Check them out. I think we've got a discount code for you. So as always, go to Cbdmd and type in
cbdmd.com. And when you get the promo code, when you're checking out, put in WOD for 25% off. That's WOD. Okay? I want them to know that I'm talking about them. So put that in, WOD, and it's also going to help you because it's going to get you 25% off. I love this stuff. You should too. Cbdmd.com. Promo code WOD, 25% off. Now, let me ask you. So, conditioning wise, what will you do? I've always wondered about like MMA guys, what they do to get in shape for a fight conditioning wise.
Running.
Really? That'll do it?
I mean, running and sparring and like sprints. I got like a fan bike.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I got that. I do that more than I'll do the treadmill because Dominic Cruz taught me this thing that I'm not supposed to tell anybody else about. And I do this for 3 weeks, and I should be good to go to make it 3 5s. So it involves sprints, and it involves somebody else helping you a little bit. But that's pretty much it. Like, and I'm so hurt from injuries and stuff, so I can run. I'll do a camp and I can run it out, and then once I run for about 3 weeks, then I can start doing sprints again. I'll sprint on the beach, and then I just do it and then I get fit enough to do the fan bike one. And when I do the fan bike one, that's it. Once I do the fan bike, I can do, and I'm older. I'm less nervous. Like, I know it's only my 3rd fight, but I've had like hundreds of fights in the gym with tons of people that I just know better now. I don't just gas out on people if you get hurt or whatever. I'm way more calculated. I have a lot of fakes, see what you're going to do. I never used to read shit. I used to just like bite down on my mouthpiece and just start swinging. I didn't know what you were coming at me with. I was just like, I'm going to do mine before you do yours. So now it's just, I just know way more about it.
Did you start out fighting like when you were younger? Did you get in a lot of fights before?
Nah.
No?
I got beat up a lot when I was a kid, but I wasn't a fighter at all. I mean, I had a weird childhood, so I've been through a little bit of violence and stuff, but I was always scared of violence. I feel like once I stopped skateboarding for a living and I found a gym and saw people have real fights and how much it scared the shit out of me, I just knew that I had to face it. So I trained enough just to have one pro MMA fight because I thought that I could get past it by doing that. I did. It really helped. Like, I've never been a violent person when it comes to like just hitting people on the streets. I don't do that. And now when fights are around, I'm more of a person of, if I can help stop it, then I will, and I don't feel bad about somebody getting angry with me trying to stop it because I'll stop them too.
I just saw funny, it was like some guy that was martial arts who was teaching a class, and it was a funny video where he's training a class full of students in the art of like bar fights. And
run. That's the art.
That's basically that's what he went with. He had every scenario. What are you looking at? And then he'd go, I was looking at you because I was admiring. You actually have really nice teeth, and my friend over here is a girl would like to meet you, and maybe you could buy her a drink. Yep. And he was doing like every scenario that you would get in a fight, and every way to diffuse it. And all these guys are like, wow, like I never thought of that. But that's been me. That's been me my whole life. I just try to get a laugh whenever. I mean, I'll go to any extreme. I'll tell you that I'm terminally ill and I'm about to die. I did that in New Zealand to this giant that was taking me outside. I was like, he's like, this is your, it's not your day. And I'm like, oh, you're telling me I was just diagnosed with a terminal illness. And I go, so if you're going to beat me up, just please make sure you kill me because I don't want to die like that. And,
nice.
And the guy, I was with another comedian named Arj Barker, and Arj is watching this, and Arj is like, I can't believe you just fucking did that. And I go, Arj, he was going to kill me and probably you.
Yeah.
And I go, I just saved our lives. He's like, that's such bad karma. I go, no, it's not. That's survival.
I agree.
I mean, I gave the guy a whole story. I was like making up, I was telling him about my scans. I was telling him, and then the guy goes, at the point, the guy was almost crying, feeling bad for me. He was like, man, aren't there other treatments you can get? And I was like, no, they've run out of options. And so, I'm pretty excited for you that you're going to fight Lewis, though.
It should be fun.
It sounds completely entertaining. I don't know why I forgot about that until you just told me.
Yeah, I think it'll be a funny fight,
And then you're going to...
Because I like him, and I feel like, it'll be fun, like, I don't think anyone's going to get too hurt.
No.
I know I'm not trying to do that. And I know he's going to be, I'm going for it, but... And we'll be okay. We'll smoke a joint afterwards, and it'll be funny shit.
Lewis is a great guy, and they do a great show. Skanks is a really funny show.
Yep, agreed.
And I've been on it a bunch of times, and I do like those guys. Your show, did you stop doing your show on Sirius?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't work for Sirius anymore. I just have Jason Ellis Show, the podcast.
And you do the one with Tony Hawk too, right?
Yeah, Hawk versus Wolf. Yep.
How the fuck is Tony Hawk still... There's a guy at the age he's at and all the crashes he must have had in his life. And he's
got a documentary coming out soon that shows a lot of the big crashes, some heavy shit. But yeah, he just skates all the time. That's like, I stopped because I moved up to LA and there's no vert ramps, and I committed myself to try and be some fucking radio guy. And then when I came back, I've had some surgeries and I've had stem cells, so my body kind of works good again. Like in the end of my career, my shit was so blown out that it just wasn't worth it to me. It was just, I was so hurt after skating that it didn't add up to be worth it. So now, and he didn't get as many, I got hurt way more than he did. So his body held up and he just skates consistently. So he's still good because people forget, like he was fucking really good. Oh. So it's like even 30 years after him being the best pro in the world, it's not like he just loses his talents. He's a little stiffer, so he can't do some of the things that he used to do. But I mean, he invented some shit like 2 days ago. He's still going.
Because I've had everybody on the show. I had Johnny Mosley on, who won gold medal.
Awesome. I love Mosley.
Great guy. And I said to him, we were joking about, like, I grew up skiing, and I said, I don't do 360s anymore. I just don't like getting off the ground as much anymore because I'm worried about injuries. He goes, yeah, I don't either. And then he goes, and I go, but you survived. Like, that guy invented tricks that had never been done. I go, you survived without any injuries. And he goes, yeah. He goes, yeah, I didn't have any bad. Oh, I did break my neck that one time.
All right.
I'm like,
nobody gets that alive.
No, you know what? I've come to that conclusion. The more I talk to action sports people, the more I find out, like, they've all really fucked up, but they're all almost still going. So, every once in a while you find, we lose someone, but right. For the most part, it's a pretty horrific crash. And then 2 years later, they're doing it all again.
Yep.
What was your worst?
Oh, I mean, I had a compound fracture. I broke my wrist and I broke my elbow out of the back of my arm. And when I was 16, that was pretty bad. But I got knocked out. And I shattered my wrist, and my wrist span around upside down and broke the bones in my hand. And I woke up on the flat bottom of the ramp with this crazy pain in my wrist, and I was like, not sure what happened. And then they tried to take me to hospital, and I said I didn't want to because I had one more ride and I was going to win this contest. And I duct taped my wrist under the ramp, screaming to just get tape on it enough to fucking hold it. And then halfway through my ride, my wrist moved like that. And my legs gave out and I got ambulance to the hospital. And then they put me on they put these metal sock things on my fingers, and they thought that I dislocated my wrist, and they had a weight and they were pulling on it to try to pop it back in. And then a nurse came in and was like, stop. stop. We saw the X-ray, like he's crushed his wrist, but they'd already given me morphine, so I didn't.
Oh
care.
fuck! So they were trying to
They
kind of
thought
put
it
you
was
in
all
traction.
blown up.
Yeah. So I used to be a ski patrol, and we used to put people in traction. It was the coolest shit in the world when you pull their leg apart, and because it's when all the blood is in there. Because what happens, like say the bone cracks like this, and then it goes like that because the muscles in the hamstring and the quad are so tight that it then goes like this, and it just tears up all that muscle tissue and everything, and all the blood from your body shoots to that area of your body, and so your heart can stop because there's so much blood so people go into shock. So you could kind of tell as they're going out that you're like, oh, this is serious. Like we have to put them. And so we had not a machine, but it was basically like these like poles beside their leg, and you put their leg on these like bands, and then you tie something around their ankle, and then we had a crank with a hook on the end, and you just start cranking their leg so that those bones come back to here. And when you do it, the guy who taught me, he goes, these people are going to thank you like you just like saved their baby's life. He goes, you will see them. And I did it a couple times, got to be involved in a track, and no one ever thanked me. I think I made it worse. I'm cranking. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm cranking their leg.
It sounds terrible.
But I see why they would have thought with all this swelling that's what happened. But if it was shattered, that
wasn't good.
So who was the guy in the X Games that basically shot up like the half pipe and then landed right on the flat?
Jake Brown.
What was his name?
Jake Brown.
Jake Brown. That is, to this day, is that the worst accident anyone's ever seen?
Yeah, that's the worst slam in the history of skateboarding right there.
I saw that live, and I remember
I saw it. You saw it live. I was on the flat bottom. I was the first person there. He was on his face, not breathing, with his eyes open.
Didn't he bounce up? Like he hit and kind of bounced up?
A little bit. It was fucked up.
How is he now?
Fine. He was fine the next day. He was in my hotel room next to my room, and I don't know how many hours after the slam, but not that many. I hear he's got turntables in his room, and I hear the turntables playing. So I knock on the door, and he fucking opens the door, and he's got turntables playing, drinking a beer, smoking a cigarette. I'm like, you good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, what'd you end up hurting? He's like, I got lacerated lung and liver. And I was like, and you're smoking a cigarette and drinking a beer? And he goes, yeah. I was like, good on you, man. He didn't give a fuck.
That was, I mean, one of the worst. My buddy Bobby that I have on this podcast all the time is a rock climber, and one day he was climbing at a gym, and when he climbs, he usually free climbs, but in a gym they make you hook in, and so he's climbing like 30 feet up this wall, and some other guy got tangled. And so a guy fell and got tangled. So he went over to him to help him out, to untangle him, and he had to clip out to go help him. So he climbs over, helps the guy, climbs back, forgets that he didn't clip back in, keeps climbing up, gets to the top, and at climbing gyms, they've got like a belay thing that lets you down. He just goes like this to belay down 30 feet. To the ground. And the same kind of thing happened to him where he hit on his side. Like he said he knew enough to like go to the side and not to his back or whatever. And he hit and he bounced up. And but his heel shattered, just completely shattered when he hit the ground. But a 30-foot drop. And that's how high was Jake Brown?
50.
Fuck. If anyone's listening to this, Google Jake Brown crash. I mean, I probably the most famous crash in all of.
Yeah, I never seen anything.
I can't believe you were there. Were you in that X Games?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm hearing a little feedback. Do you hear that?
No.
Wonder what the fuck that is. I don't know. You're good friends with Psycho Mike too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a buddy of mine too.
Mike Catherwood.
Yeah. How about that body on that guy?
Yeah. Yeah. He was kind of ashamed of it for a couple of years. It was funny to see that. He's shirtless all the time. I'm stoked for him.
I always tell him that. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you hiding?
I know.
You have the body every guy wishes they had.
I know. Well, now he's got it out. All day.
All right. Well, so I want to send people to see you do stand up. Are you not ready for that yet?
I'm ready.
Okay. You're going to be in Appleton this week. Anywhere else you're performing?
That's it. Oh, what about, am I Kentucky? Louisville, Kentucky on the 17th to the 19th. I think the 17th to the 19th.
Is that you or are you working with someone?
That's Brian again.
Well,
It's the only person that's out. It's my first tour. I've never gone.
Brian's the best. He's a great person to hang with. He's a lot of fun. Okay, here we go. Time to talk about Barbell Apparel. I'm wearing them right now. If I stand up, look, you'll see I'm wearing the joggers. Can you see me? Can you see me on YouTube? I'm wearing the joggers right now. These are the super soft ones that I'm going to get like 12 pairs of. I feel like I'm wearing pajamas at all time, but yet they're like strong. They also have a zippered pocket, which is awesome. For other companies out there, if you make joggers and you don't have a zippered pocket, you're an idiot. Like, we all have a phone. We all work I don't need my phone falling out. I don't need my wallet falling out. I need it zippered in. I fly on planes all the time. I refuse to fly in pants. I wear joggers every time I'm on a plane. I don't want my wallet falling out under the seat and never seeing it again. Barbell Apparel makes possibly the best joggers in the world. I'm not going to name the other companies out there, but let's just say I've tried them all. And there's something about the guys that made Barbell Apparel, that make it, are guys that work out, guys and women that work out all the time. And they were in the fitness industry and they were like, hey, CrossFitters, people that work out, they're built a little differently. Let's make these for them. They're not made for yoga people like, these skinny stick people that eat quinoa all day long. They're made for people that have muscles on them. So they fit your calves, they fit your quads. And if you buy their jeans, I'm not going to lie to you, their jeans are the best fitting jeans you'll ever have on in your life. Not only are they the best fitting, they're the most comfortable. Because they've got the 4-way stretch. It's unbelievable. I started wearing, look, I'm reading their website. Joe Rogan put the most comfortable jeans ever. They are the most comfortable jeans. I don't think I can wear any other jeans ever again in my life. But they've got so much stuff. They've got shirts. They got dress shirts. They got workout shorts. Check out their website. They got the short shorts. I've been wearing the short shorts. I like those. It's like the Navy SEAL shorts. And then they've got long shorts. It's so nice. I just throw a bunch of them in my bag now and I head off because I'm always traveling. And I love it. I live in the joggers. Live. My wife likes the pullovers. She likes their bras. I mean, just check them out. They've got men's, women's, everything from jeans, chinos, leggings, joggers, shorts, long sleeve shirts, hoodies, sports bras. It's just a great apparel company. Good people too. I've talked to them. I like the guys that run the company. Check them out now. Barbell Apparel. I think we've got a code for you. Go to barbellapparel.com/WODcast. Barbellapparel.com. If you can't smell that, you're in trouble. Barbellapparel.com/WODcast. And you're going to get 10% off any purchase. Okay? Barbellapparel.com/WODcast. They also have retail locations in Irvine, California, Huntington Beach, California, Las Vegas. Oh, I'm going to Vegas. Maybe I'll go by and get some more of their stuff today. It's the best. Barbellapparel.com/WODcast. How'd you meet Brian from Fighter and the Kid?
Man, him him and Sharp used to come on the show. I think, was it because they were in front of the kid? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but yeah, I met him through Sharp.
Brian and I started a podcast called Wingmen probably over 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And we did it for 10 episodes, and we were like, yeah, this podcast thing's not going anywhere.
I don't know. They're so, like Hawk versus Wolf. Everybody likes Hawk versus Wolf because Tony Hawk's on it. And the Jason Ellis Show is like consistently at a solid thing that sometimes Hawk versus Wolf does lower than, and sometimes it does 10 times bigger than. And I don't know why or what there's no indication. I have no fucking idea what's happening in podcasting. I know that I'm doing enough from the Patreon and stuff to stay alive. So I don't fucking care about that stuff anymore, man. I'm just trying to get out there and live my life, do stuff. What have I not done, and what interests me? And if it interests me, like, get into it,
Yeah, well,
so
you'll have
having
fun.
a good time.
Are you doing any spots around the city?
Haha's always has me on the weekends, so
cool.
I get to go there usually once a week. And then I did one at the Laugh Factory the other day, and I don't know if I'm going. I think I'll go back because the person that asked me was like, "We'll have you back." And then I might have I got invited to do something at the Comedy Store with somebody else, but I still haven't done a set there yet.
Well,
it seems like it's working out.
I used to have my own regular show at the Comedy Store on Sundays, and it was always my buddies that I surf with that do comedy, and I'd have people like extra people on all the time. So if I start that up again, I'll have you on sometime.
Yeah,
it's fun. I'd Steve-O on it. I have there's a whole crew that I surf with that are all comedians, which is kind of weird, but
yeah,
comedians aren't usually the most athletic people in the world.
Is that how it goes? Is it?
Yeah, I would say the majority. There's a few. If I always say this, I love comedians, probably the most interesting people to talk to in the world. But I would never want to be in a foxhole with most of the comedians I know.
Why?
Because they'd fucking join the other team and stab you right in the back.
Oh, shit. You're scaring me.
The most insecure people in the whole world.
Oh, okay. Well, I can hang out with them then. Yeah. I'm like that.
They are the most insecure, and they'll do anything. I mean, like, it's funny. I do this podcast, which is full of, like, gym rats. And it's like gym rats are just as insecure. Anybody that just sits and works on their body all day long.
Everybody is. Everybody's the same.
I don't know, though.
Everyone's terrified. Everyone's full of shit.
I don't know. I think there are people that are secure, and they're just like these big fat fucks that sit on the couch and are just like, yeah, I don't give a shit.
Nope. Especially them.
I don't know. I think the most secure person is that dude that had to have the wall taken off his house. That they came in with the forklift and took him to the hospital. Did you see that guy? He weighed like 1,000 pounds.
Nah.
1,000 pounds. And I thought, that guy's so secure. He loved himself so much. He just wanted more of himself.
That makes no sense at all. You know that, right?
Why?
I think The Rock is the most secure man alive.
No way.
And even he has negative thoughts, I believe.
I'm sure he does, but I wouldn't think he's the most secure guy. Really?
Yeah, he's like the greatest American alive.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. It seems like everybody else thinks it. I'm not even that much of a fan. I'm just like, I think he's the greatest American alive right now, right? Like, what's better? Who's big? Who's more appreciated than The Rock?
Kevin Hart.
He's not.
Yeah. You think The Rock over Hart?
I think The Rock is, the world loves The Rock more than Kevin Hart,
I don't know. Who has more Twitter followers?
I don't know. That's a ridiculous question. I have no idea.
That could define it for us.
It's got to be The Rock.
I don't know. Let's look. Kevin.
This is some weird comedy thing where you just have to back your comedy buddy or something.
No, Kevin. No.
It's The Rock.
No, I don't have to. Actually, Kevin is. I haven't seen Kevin. Kevin lives right up the street from me, and I haven't seen him in probably 5 years.
You're friends with him?
Oh yeah, I started or didn't start with him. He opened for me when I started. Like
What?
when I was headlining 3 years into comedy. 1999. I went to I started in 96, and by 2000 I had already had a sitcom development deal and everything, and I blew it all. But I blew it all. I blew it like you've never seen anyone blow it. So follow my path. You'll see how to scorch
I'm
the
too
earth.
old.
Yeah, well, I can show you how not to do it. Let's see, Kevin Hart. The Rock's gonna have more. You're right. I'm gonna lose this fucking argument. Kevin Hart. He has 37 million followers,
Impressive.
and let's see the other one. Would he be just The Rock or Dwayne Johnson?
No, he's just The Rock.
Okay. So 37 million versus... No, he is under Dwayne. Oh, The Rock. You're right. 15.8 million.
Wow. Okay. Well then, yeah.
Let me tell you why I feel that is. From the day Kevin started stand-up comedy, like nobody's funny when they start. Like it's hard to be funny when you start. He was not funny, but he was so fucking likable. You wanted to just hug him. Like he just walked off stage, and people just wanted to, like, you just liked, and likability goes so far in this business, and he's proven it. There's not a more likable person on stage. Just if you want to learn that, just do what Kevin does. He walks in the room and you're like, he's here. So I saw him in an airport a few years ago. I was on the way to Australia, and he was going too. And he's like, "Hey, where are you playing?" And I'm like, I was playing some like fucking comedy club somewhere. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm playing like some arena." I was like, "Yeah, remember when you opened for me at the whatever on South Street in Philly?"
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's exploded. So you never know.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's so much fun though. I wish I was where you are. Dude, you have
I would like it if I didn't have to pay, if it didn't cost me money to do it. That'd be really cool.
Oh, I say my dream is to hit the lottery and then only do the gigs that I want to do.
That's how I used to feel about the Sirius gig. I was like, imagine if I just made enough money to not answer to them.
Did they come down?
And I did it.
I thought they were pretty lenient though. They weren't.
The bigger the show got, the more I was pushed into situations that I really didn't want to be involved in. And I was also told not to talk about that. And it was like, it might not be a big deal to some people, but to me, it was just like, I despise you. Like, you've put me in a spot where I can't tell anybody why I can't talk about something. And it happened more and more to the point where I just remember saying, I just want a lot of money. You know, they'd already taken the fun out of it. Just give me a lot of money and then I won't worry about anything. That's how I was looking at life.
So a lot of those guys that were your bosses were my bosses. I used to be on WNEW, which was Opie and Anthony's station.
Yeah, they're radio people, man.
Yeah, I was the mornings, and Opie and Anthony were the afternoons. And so Jeremy Coleman moved over, but he went to Stern, and a whole bunch of those guys all went over from WNEW to Sirius. And when Jim and I started our podcast, they talked to us about coming over to Sirius, and I remember they were like, "Oh yeah, so we'll have you come on," and we were like, "What are you going to pay us?" And they were like, "We're not." And we were like, "You're not going to pay us?" They're like, "Yeah, but you're going to get our audience." Like, I don't think you know how this works.
Yeah, I don't take it personal at all. I feel like that's just the way they run stuff. That's the way they do things. When things get bigger, they give it to somebody else, and that person just has a job that he has to do. It doesn't matter who it is. And it's just not genuine. And some people, that's life. Like, your boss is not genuine. Who cares? But for me, I'm very privileged. I get to live a life where, first of all, I was a pro skateboarder, and then you pay me millions of dollars to be a radio host, and I got a couple of bosses that don't like me. Who cares? But now I have from that radio show, from them letting me have their fan base, or what do you want to call it. Like, now I have a Patreon that keeps me and my co-hosts living. Just the Patreon, not even the podcast.
That's awesome.
You know, and now I have the freedom to do anything I want, have anybody on I want, have people I don't want on, not on, which is really cool. And I still get to have enough money to like have a car and take the kids to Disneyland or whatever. Like, it's not, I'm not resentful at all. I think it's
a pretty
awesome
good. It's a pretty good life.
It's really good. I don't, many, like Tony Hawk's got a better life. That's about it. I don't know many people that have a better run than me. Brendan Schaub, but he's got little kids. I remember that. That was terrible.
I'm there right now. Oh,
the little ones.
I got a 2-year-old.
Oh, I love how I say that. It's just hard work, man. I mean, I loved it, but it was also,
it's so hard.
That was hard work.
It's so hard. Today, I dropped him off at his little preschool place, 2.5. And then I went surfing, and then I was like, I miss him. I'm going to go pick him up. Like, I want to hang out with him today. I don't want him there. And so I went and picked him up, and like, I couldn't even get him in the car. He was like putting up such a fight. I was like, all right, I'm taking him back. I was like, I came here to get you, to break you out of jail so that we could go to the park and have fun and play. And now you're giving me shit.
Yeah.
He grabbed my wife the other night and he goes, Mommy, look at me. And she goes, it was the sweetest face I've ever seen. And she goes, I like pursed my lips to give him a kiss and he headbutted me.
Yep. That's what I remember.
How old are your kids now?
13 and 16, almost 17.
Don't you have a whole new like shit you got to deal with?
I don't know. It's different. Like, they take care of themselves, and there's like advice or driving them somewhere. It's like they're so busy and more into their own shit that I'm trying to spend time with them and they're trying to duck it.
Yeah.
And it's so there's no, I have plenty of time to do what I have to do because they don't want to hang out.
That's my fear. I'm so afraid of that.
Bad. It sucks, but it's also, I remember what it was like. Like, go live your life,
Yeah, I know.
Go be you.
I know, but I always thought my dad didn't do the fun shit I do, but I didn't realize it's like, it's not the fun shit to them. Like they'll probably be into different stuff.
Yeah. And my son skates, so now we skate together, but my daughter has no interest in anything I do. And that's fine.
So living in LA, where would you skate?
I skate Venice a little bit, but now I only skate Tony's. Now that I'm bird skating again, I just only skate that.
Yeah.
So I can't, I'll skate a pool every now and then if Tony goes or whatever, but I'm just trying to skate that vert ramp, trying to get a few things done and then pull it back a little bit because it's kind of sketchy to do fives when you're 50. I just want to make one and get it on video.
That's that, do you jump the, what's it called? The chasm or whatever it is there?
The what?
What do you call the thing in the middle where it's open?
Oh, the Bridge of Death?
Yeah. Do you do it?
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, dude, come on.
I know a guy on here, Trevor Jacobs, did it. And and Tony was like, hey, that's the first time, someone just shows up and does it right away. No big deal though?
Okay. No.
Oh. I wasn't sure. I'm not that you should see me on a skateboard. I suck. I've been skating my whole life and I suck.
I mean, I don't know. It was a long time ago, but it was my whole, every day, all day. Yeah. I got paid for 15 years, maybe 20 to do it. I was pretty good at it. So now that at the first couple of days back, no way would I go over that. But yeah, once I got my legs back, if I can't go over that, what the fuck?
How long did you take off? Like that you stopped skating and then skating?
20 years.
What? Really?
Yeah.
That's weird because I watch all these videos with Tony Alva and all these guys that have come when they stop and come back and you think about Tony Hawk never stopped, Kelly Slater never stopped. Those guys just kept. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so you got you don't know the date of the fight or approximately when it is?
Summertime for Alice Mania, and then I don't know when this fight's going to be. I'm trying to be cool about it because they're taking their fucking sweet ass time. But in time, whenever it happens, I'll be ready.
What is Ellis Mania?
When?
Yeah. What and when? So people listening?
Oh, Ellis Mania's comedy boxing, and it's going to be on in the summertime in Las Vegas. That's it. That's all I know.
And when you say comedy boxing,
I mean, like, for instance, 4 people fighting at the same time, but they're all blindfolded, and they've got electric dog collars on their necks, and I give the crowd the remotes.
that's fucking hilarious.
And then I have, like, a pro fighter in there that isn't blindfolded, and he punches the blind people in the stomach whenever he feels like it. Or sometimes we kick them in the leg.
Sometimes.
Stuff like that.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Whenever he feels like it, really. And everybody laughs.
I'm
Very
sure
funny.
that I'm coming.
Except those 4 guys. But everybody else is laughing.
That's my sense of humor.
Yeah. If that's your humor, then this is the night for you.
I went to Jackass Forever the other day and literally fell out of my seat. I was having the best time.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh God, it's fucking good. They're so cruel to Danger Aaron and Dave England. It's like those guys didn't make
That's
enough
your role,
money.
man. That's
Yeah,
it.
those guys didn't make enough cash in the first ones.
Poor
So they
bastards.
take everything.
Yeah, I bet.
But it is it's really, really funny. But that is my sense of humor. Like, we used to do that on Talking Shit all the time. Like, they beer boarded me, and we just, like, everybody got hurt on our show. It was terrible. We did the shock collars and the tons of. You ever watch Kenny versus Spenny?
No.
Oh, one of the funniest shows in the whole world. It was on Comedy Central for I forget how many years. You can find it all on YouTube. And Trey and Matt from South Park produced it. And it's these 2 guys out of Canada, and they would have contests. And every week it was a different contest, like who can fart more or louder, who can eat more meat, who can make more ejaculate, who can. Every week
Wow.
it's a different contest, but the best part is Kenny cheats every week, and he fucks with Spenny so badly. Like one episode, it was like, who can go longer blind? And they both have a documentary crew that travels with them while they prepare, get ready to. So Kenny, they're both blind. They're given an hour to prepare the house. So they like braille shit, not braille, but like set shit up so that everything's accessible. Well, like 10 minutes into it, Kenny looks at his documentary crew and takes off his blindfold and goes, "Look, I lose." He's like, "I concede, but don't tell Spenny." And he's like, "Let's just keep going with this." And so he proceeds to just terrorize him, like hits him with sticks, breaks glass under his feet, just fucks with him the whole time. And one time they did a like who can go the longest without using their arms, and they had their arms tied behind their back. And Kenny hired a midget to come over and had him strapped to his body, and the midget did all the handling for him, like he would feed him. He would sit and eat, and the midget's feeding him. And he finally wins by throwing Spenny's prize guitar off the roof, and Spenny's down at the bottom. He's got to pull his hands out. So like that's how he would cheat every week. But then they had a stunt to do. After, whoever would lose would have to like make out with a 90-year-old woman, or and it was just the funniest fucking show. So if it sounds like that's right up your sense of humor. Go watch Who Can Eat More.
Yeah.
Go watch Who Can Eat More Meat.
Okay.
They have just a meat eating contest that lasts for like a weekend, and it gets so fucking gross.
Oh my God.
Kenny's blending meat and drinking meat smoothies. It's so gross. But I want to send everybody to go see Ellis May. I want to come watch this. That sounds hilarious. Where do you do it?
We used to do it at the Hard Rock. That's why I got 3 venues that offered to have us, and my manager's going there today and tomorrow. So I'll know by tomorrow which is the spot.
Okay. And then you're at Appleton this weekend?
Yep.
So if you're out in Wisconsin, I know there's a CrossFit gym that listens to this show, Dairyland CrossFit. Check them out. Go see them. Him and Callan. That'll be a really, really great show. And also Hawk versus Wolf on iTunes and
Yeah, everywhere where podcasts are sold, and the Jason Ellis Show is everywhere where podcasts are sold. And then there's patreon.com/EllisMate, and that's where we do 2 live Jason Ellis shows a week, and I do 2 solo shows a week as well. So
All right.
4 shows.
Well, I can't thank you enough for doing the show. It was an honor to have you. And
Thanks for having me, mate.
And you guys always know what to do: rate, review, comment, whatever the fuck you do. That's it. Have a good day.